Assalamualaikum and a very good day to everyone. Today, me, Farhana, Mahfuza and Zubaida will be presenting about planning of lesson based on the procedures of the Assure model. So, what is Assure model? The Assure model is an instructional system or guideline that can be used by teachers to develop lesson plans while also integrating the use of technology and media. The Assure model focuses on the learner and the overall outcome of accomplishing learning objectives. There are 6 stages or phases in Assure model, which the first one is analyze learners. The second stage is state standards or objectives. The third stage is select media, materials, and strategies. The fourth stage is utilize the technology or media. The fifth stage is require learner participation, and the last stage is evaluate and revise.
We have chosen Quizlet as our online learning platform. Quizlet is a web-based application developed to help students study information through interactive tools and games. Quizlet's mission is to help students and teachers practice and master what they have learned. It is free and accessible through Android, iOS, or even laptops and computers too. There are 8 mini-games in Quizlet such as flashcards, learn, write, spell, test, match, gravity, and life. We have also provided our Quizlet link in our slides. This is the example of Quizlet online e-learning platform.
In this phase, teacher analyze learners' attributes and characteristics which are associated with the learning outcomes desired. The information gathered in this phase will help the teacher in making decisions in the other phases. The analysis of learners includes attributes which are age, academic abilities and interests, previous knowledge, and learners' learning styles. Learners of this online teaching and learning are Year 4 primary school students, and their language proficiency are average. The learners are also familiar with items used in the online teaching and learning material like milk, actors, and beads. They are also IT savvy and are familiar with platforms like Quizlet. The learners learn best through visual and audio, which is used most in the platform Quizlet.
The next phase of this Assure model is state objectives. In this phase, teacher will state the standards and objectives for the learning activity. The teacher can identify the learning expectations and the assessments to measure students' learning outcome. The use of any appropriate media and material throughout the learning activity also need to be determined in this phase. Based on our activity provided in the Quizlet, by the end of the lesson, Year 4 students will be able to first identify the collective nouns through the Quizlet platform by accessing it using computer, laptop, or phones. Second, pupils will be able to answer various types of questions about the collective nouns. And the last objective is pupils will be able to write their answers based on the questions given.
In this phase, strategies, technology, media, and materials are selected based on the learning objectives. The selection is done on the basis of learning situation, learning objectives, teaching format, and learners' needs, capabilities, and learning styles. Quizlet is chosen as the online teaching and learning platform as it is suitable with the learning situation of the new normal, as it allows the teacher to achieve the learning objectives of the lesson without requiring face-to-face interaction in classrooms. Quizlet also enable learners to learn about the topic collective nouns through various activities, which allows them to practice their four skills, which are reading, writing, listening, and speaking skills. Quizlet also suits learners' learning styles, which is through visual and audio, as the platform enables teachers to integrate text, graphics, and audio into one teaching and learning material. Next, Quizlet also allows the teacher to carry out an asynchronous e-learning, which is suitable for class hours that does not require interaction through platforms like Zoom or Google Meet. For example, during this activity, which is a spelling activity, learners can click on the button to listen to the audio, and based on the audio that they have listened to, they have to type in what they have heard, thus allowing the learners to practice the four skills as they have to listen to the audio, imitate the pronunciation by speaking it out loud, read the text, and write or type in what they have heard of the answer. Next, as you can see in the picture, Quizlet also allows teachers to put in text and graphics or pictures aside from audio. In this phase, teacher must determine on how the media, materials, and technology must be used in conducting the methods. It is also crucial for teachers to review and practice using the materials before it is implemented. Teachers should also make sure that the necessary equipment and facility have been prepared beforehand.
In the utilizing methods, media and materials stage, one of the things that teachers should keep in mind is previewing the materials. Teacher needs to check the material for any grammar, syntax, or spelling errors before sharing it with the learners. Also, teacher needs to check whether the material developed are appropriate for the audience and meets the objectives of the lesson. Also, teacher needs to do a test run on the material developed before sharing it with the learners. In preparing the materials, teachers should prepare the materials by using Quizlet. While preparing for the materials, teachers should understand that presentation, practice, and evaluation of the lesson are all done using the same application, which in this case it is by using Quizlet. Also, in the utilizing methods, media, and material stage, teachers should prepare the environment for the learners. Teacher needs to make sure that the learners have the access to use Quizlet, where in this case, stable internet connection is needed for the application to run smoothly. Teachers should also prepare the learners by explaining thoroughly to the learners on how to use the application. Also, teacher needs to explain to the learners on how assessment of the topic is done based on the final result on Quizlet after they have completed all the games.
The last thing included in utilized methods, media and materials phase is provide the learning experience. Who should provide the learning experience and whom will experience it? Teachers and the Quizlet platform itself would provide the learning experience for Year 4 students. Learners are required to go through all the activities that have been created using Quizlet without missing any parts of it. For example, pupils have to involve themselves in the 8 mini-games provided in Quizlet. And teachers should always play their roles by being ready with solutions to help the learners if they come across any problem while using the application. The second last phase in this assure model is R. Require learner participation. This is an essential part of every lesson because without learner or students, teaching and learning session will not take place. Teacher can create interesting activities in the learning session like fun learning assessment which include questions to keep the students engaged to the learning. Students can easily join the Quizlet platform and have an access to 8 mini-games provided via invite link shared by the teacher. Learners also will be able to participate in the learning session conveniently as minimal time is needed for pupils to master the activity set regarding the topic of collective nouns in Quizlet. Quizlet platform also includes attractive visual and audio for the learners. For example, the implementation of Galaxy theme and the asteroid elements enhance the gravity game overall experience and is visually attractive for the pupils of Year 4. This is example of gravity game included in Quizlet platform. There are the Galaxy theme and asteroid elements with score and level for the game.
The last stage in the assure model is evaluate and revise. During this phase or stage, teacher needs to evaluate and measure whether the lesson objectives have been achieved or not. The evaluation includes three types of evaluation. The first one is evaluating learners' performance, the second one is evaluating media components, and the last one is evaluating teachers' performance. The first one is evaluating learners' performance. Learners' performance are evaluated and assessed based on their result from answering the questions and mini-games on Quizlet. The second type of evaluation is evaluating media components. In this case, questionnaires were constructed and distributed to the students for them to evaluate the effectiveness of the usage of Quizlet in the lesson. So, questionnaire is developed using Google Form. The last type of evaluation is evaluating teachers' performance. Teachers' performance can be evaluated by asking for feedback from the learners, whether they are satisfied with the instructional method used. So this is the questionnaire that have been developed to assess the effectiveness of using Quizlet. This questionnaire will be shared with the learners at the end of the lesson.
Overall, Quizlet is a suitable online teaching and learning platform as it allows teachers to conduct fun and engaging lessons that can achieve all of the learning objectives set. The use of the assure model in the planning of the lesson is also mandatory as it acts as a guideline for teachers to plan effective and efficient lessons that integrate both multimedia and technology, which will enhance the learning environment. These are the references used to produce this PowerPoint presentation. That is all from us. Thank you.